Hi everyone, today is Sunday, and all of you recognize where this is. I think these gowns are known worldwide. No matter where we go, we all know what these are, right? Okay, let me try to be short with this. Yesterday I went and spent the day with my mom and helped her decorate her house. And my niece Shelly spent the weekend with us. I felt good. I was tired, but hey, that's normal. So yesterday evening when we got home, me and her took a nap. We got up and cooked supper, and I was sitting on the couch when she was talking to me. You have to understand she's mentally challenged. And so we were sitting there face to face talking to each other. I just had my head kind of sitting up. And she started getting further and further in the distance to me, and I was having to really concentrate on what she was saying. And then I thought I was answering her, but my words that I wanted to say to answer her, that's not the words that came out. She even laughed at me and said, "You're not making sense." And then at one time she said, "I don't understand what you're saying." And I knew I was really, we get the lupus fog, right? And our words, I have trouble with my words. I tell my husband all the time, I'm having trouble finding my words. And I wouldn't have really, I think I would have just put this off to tired, except my heart started pounding really fast. It got up to 130. My blood pressure was 180/80. It would not stop. And then it was as if gravity was pulling me down, like I wanted to fall backwards. Even trying to sit up, I had to hold on and just really pull because I was wanting to go backwards. Well, my niece, I did not want to upset her, so I went in the bathroom, took my blood pressure, saw how fast my heart rate was and everything. So to cut it off short, I called my daughter. She came and got my niece before the ambulance got there, because she would freak out. That stuff upsets her so bad. So she made it in time to pick her up before the ambulance got there. Well, there was times in there I felt like I fell asleep. I've been discussing it with my husband, and he said I didn't fall asleep, but there was times in there it felt like I fell asleep because I don't remember it. So, anyway, they came in and checked my blood pressure. I forgot where I was at. I don't want to start over. Anyway, what happened was, I was sitting on the couch talking to my niece, which is mentally challenged. And she was talking to me, and we were side by side, but it was as if she was getting further and further and further away, and I was really having a hard time concentrating on what she was saying. And I was answering her, but when I answered her, the words that came out of my mouth were not the words I was thinking. And she even kind of laughed and said, "You're not making sense." And then another time she said, "I can't understand you." And I was like, okay, we have our lupus fog. We have our moments when the words don't come out right, but my heart's pounding so fast. My blood pressure was high. My heart rate 130. It was something else added extra to this, and then all I wanted to do was sleep. I wanted to sleep. Well, in that time of events that happened, we were trying to get my niece out of the house before the ambulance got there, because I knew I was calling an ambulance. But because of her problem, she would have been very upset if she'd known I was sick. So my daughter came and got her. Made it before the ambulance. The ambulance got there. My heart rate was still high. Blood pressure still high. All I wanted to do was sleep. I had to really concentrate on the words I wanted to say. So we went to Madison, which is right below our house, but it's still Huntsville Hospital. So they got me, they did some tests and stuff, and then they sent me to Huntsville, which I had a neurologist waiting over here. They had me on the neurology floor. They had a neurologist waiting on me. They could do the MRI. They did the MRI today. My brain tumor, it started out maybe 1/4 of an inch. It's now 3/4. They were looking for signs of stroke, which he told us yesterday. last night, baby. Last night when we got here, he said, I really don't think you had a stroke because you would still be suffering from the side effects of it, you know. But that went on for around 2 hours and then it subsided. He said, but you could have, he has on my board, it's called TIA stroke. That means a mini stroke before you have a stroke, which happens usually 3 or 4 days before. So, he's got me here under observation. I love this hospital. They really, you know, they don't just throw you away. They do a really good job. So what they're doing right now, the social worker just come in and told me I'm on a 48-hour observation. That Blue Cross has agreed to let me be under observation for 48 hours. He wants to see if anything changes or happens because you could have the mini stroke before a stroke. And you know, guys, I don't know. All I know is that with lupus, we get used to the brain fog. We get used to the words not coming out right, to being so exhausted you can't even explain it to people. You just have to lay down and go to sleep. That's also with the fibromyalgia. So I don't know if all of that just caused my confusion, that I just could not get it together. Now, what happened with the blood pressure and the heart rate, I have no idea. I have SVT, but I have not had an attack with it in probably 3 years. And it didn't even feel like that. It didn't feel the same as my SVT. So that's where we're at right now. We're hanging out under observation. I've already had my MRI. I'm still waiting on the neurologist to come in today. So I've got my wonderful husband, of course. He's just the love of my life and awesome. Not scared, not worried, because my God's got this, you know. It's just that there is a point in your illness, even when you have so many things wrong, that something happens and it falls outside of that group. And something else comes in there with it. And you really don't need to take the chance. I didn't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to be here. But I also realized something different was totally going on. So that's where I'm at right now. And when I get home, I'll probably give you guys updates. They've said things like, maybe I had SVT with my heart rate and my blood pressure going up and it made me hyperventilate. Maybe I did have a mini stroke. Maybe just a bunch of maybes, because if you do have a mini stroke, it will not show up. It won't show up on the MRI, the CAT scan, or anything. So it's more or less of a ruling out of the bad things, which they have done, and then trying to figure out where you're at this moment. But I love you guys. Stay positive. Hang on to each other. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.